Dear members, observers and guests, on behalf of Australia as Chair, I would like to extend my own very warm welcome to you all to this 2021 plenary meeting of the Voluntary Principles Initiative on Security and Human Rights. This, I understand, is our first ever virtual plenary meeting. And as Kaveh mentioned, we're all in our different time zones. I think my achievement tonight has been to celebrate my wife's birthday, get our 3 children, our puppy, 2 cats, all safely tucked away so that you don't have to see them in the screen passing in my rear vision. I know we've all done a lot of work to get here today, and it's really nice to be joining together virtually, if not in person. Kaveh mentioned to me that he was very sad that we couldn't be in Brisbane at the moment. It would have been, I think, his first time to Australia, and we're very sad that we can't welcome you all to Brisbane as originally planned. But we trust that the format that we've chosen will still allow for really valuable presentations and discussion. I'd like to acknowledge the many invited guests we have joining the plenary today. We're so pleased to have you with us, and we hope that this program provides you with a deeper understanding of the voluntary principles and how they can add real value to your work. We do encourage our guests to consider joining the initiative, for as our group of committed members grows, we can more confidently say that the natural resource and energy industries are industries that respect the human rights of the communities in which they operate. Australia is really proud and pleased to have chaired the VPI in its 20th year. We celebrated this important milestone by adopting a looking back, looking forward theme. And we thank the many of you who participated in the events to mark this anniversary and who contributed your thoughts to the discussion and the evolution of this initiative. Our biggest collective challenge this year has, of course, been the COVID-19 pandemic. It has impacted all our communities, our economies, businesses and workplaces. In many cases, it has meant slowdowns and pauses in production, but in all cases, enhanced health and safety precautions for employees and surrounding communities have resulted. It has raised conflict risk profiles, and in doing so, highlighted the value of having a very clear focus on conflict prevention in the objectives of the VPI. We appreciate the very timely work undertaken in the last months by members, in particular PACS and the CDA, on developing a conflict analysis tool for companies. And we look forward to hearing more about this in today's program. If I could point to one standout achievement of this challenging year, it would be the work on mechanisms for country-level stakeholder action and coordination. We're fortunate to have again on today's agenda presentations from 5 in-country working groups, with time for Q&A at the end. This work began in July with the publishing of the Geneva Centre for Security Sector Governance and Fund for Peace Guide, From Commitment to Impact, experiences from local working groups on business, security and human rights. Impact is what we all strive for. And I was pleased that towards the end of last year, we finalised a new framework for funding, technically supporting and building a network around the initiative's country-level structures. I'd like to particularly acknowledge the Secretariat's strong efforts in developing this framework. As always, we have an ambitious agenda that continues to grow, and as outgoing chair, I'd like to offer Australia's reflections on 5 possible priorities going forward. First, continuing to find ways, particularly in times of disruption like the pandemic, of drawing on the full strength of our multi-stakeholder membership. This tripartite structure is a core asset, and we are members of the VPI because we understand that it takes dialogue between governments, companies, and community organisations to address the complex security and human rights issues in business operations around the world. And in reflecting on the last year's lessons learned, streamlining our engagement processes to enhance our capacity to collaborate is one useful aim. Second, as always, clarity of purpose. While the Australian government gives high value to the natural resource and energy sector focus of the initiative, we do understand that there will be a variety of views within the VPI membership on the initiative's appropriate scope going into this new decade. We genuinely welcome the deliberations to come on this important point regarding the VPI's mandate. Third, and relatedly, we need to discuss the applicability of the voluntary principles up and down the value chains. This is perhaps particularly the case as our industries move towards the new production processes associated with low emission energy sources and the importance of both primary production sites and processing facilities. Fourth, proactive global outreach. As you know, Australia is very supportive of greater outreach into the Indo-Pacific, and I note here the very welcome participation of our colleagues and friends from Indonesia today. This outreach, of course, takes concerted effort in advocating the benefits of the VPI, and this is an effort to which Australia recommits itself. Finally, greater coordination with other international initiatives in related fields, both to maximise our global understanding of what action makes a difference and to support simplified but still effective reporting and audit processes for companies. In closing, let me say it has been a real privilege for Australia to serve as chair of the VPI over the last year. I want to thank our colleagues in the Government of Canada, our colleagues and friends, no doubt, in the Government of Canada for taking on the chair role following this plenary. We look forward to their leadership over the coming year. I also wish to thank the Secretariat for all its hard work over the last 12 months, at times in extremely challenging circumstances. This has been genuinely appreciated. And finally, may I wish you all a very productive and enjoyable plenary meeting. And thank you again, most genuinely, for your support to Australia in our year as chair of the VPI.